me know, and I will put you always last.
Yeah, but always me is the last because I don't have problem too much.
Okay. So how are you?
Difficult this week because I start to work. I have gastritis and on Wednesday I told because I feel so sick.
Oh no. But do you have time? Did you have time for see for read the contract?
Yes. Quickly read, but I
Yeah. Okay. So do you remember the exercise, right? That is like choose the companies
see
and etc.
it's necessary to listen again because I don't have lights yesterday. Because
Okay.
I yes I stay in the class the first part, but then I don't stay in the class.
Okay.
Good.
The important thing here is like you can choose the companies that are doing the agreement. You know that that agreement is called joint venture. So I need that you please let me know if she does or he does or doesn't do it as a company. La idea era como que tú llenaras el formato en tu cabeza o tú escogieras a dos empresas que están haciendo ese contrato de alianza estratégica temporal o atemporal y que tú, porfa, me expliques cuáles beneficios, qué porcentajes colocarías en tal contrato.
Yes. But I think it's a joint venture, but in a construction of a bride. I don't know. Is that okay?
A construction of a bridge.
Oh, the bridge. Yes.
Yeah, okay, bridge.
So
Yeah.
the name. 1 minute, please, because the listen. Sorry. Yeah. The names I choose for the construction is a Graña Montero is a famous builder, construction company here in Peru. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I found another in Latin America, Conalvías. I
Mm-hmm.
believe it's Colombia. Um, Here I choose the the joint venture. Mm, uh, I the profits and the net loss I think is equal for both companies,
Mm-hmm.
50%. Um, in case it's a kind of or conflict of interest if I cannot say arbitrary
Arbitration.
arbitration or conciliation between
Yeah.
us, not
Yeah.
between two and them,
Them.
which had them a confident be in the period that both company uh, confident between the period of the construction, I think.
Okay.
And then what is another here? The cash too. Because here in contributions, there is a cash is an amount of I think 50,000 maybe uh, each other.
$50,000, right?
Yes, dollars. Here
Mm-hmm.
is dollar.
Dollars.
Yes, dollar.
Okay. Perfect.
Ownership
What
is
more?
what? I didn't understand.
What more? What more?
Yeah.
What
Ownership.
more? Uh-huh.
Ownership is 50% each other.
Yes, perfect. And what about the distribution of profits?
Yeah. This refers
Los dividendos, la plata, la ganancia, lo que queda, los beneficios.
well, yes, but I don't if I equal 50% because
Okay.
two companies have the same money.
Mm-hmm.
$50,000 too, and they have the obligation to receive the same.
Mm-hmm.
The management.
Yeah. Do you know what is management?
No, I do. O sea, exactly.
Es el encargado, el gerente, el manager, la cabeza responsable del proyecto. Como quien va a
I
ejercer
don't
esa
complete.
responsabilidad.
Yes, but I don't complete because I think it's only a name. I don't take care too much because it is necessary to find a name. So.
But what do you think? That person will be who? One part of your company or the other one? Or one neutral? What do you think that will be the best?
A neutral person, maybe an architect. Contract.
Yes, an architect. Archie, se escribe Archie, pero se pronuncia architect. Architect.
An architect, and then this is all, I think. Oh.
What about the confidentiality, the obligation? What do you will talk about that? What happened if, do you want that be exclusive or not?
Not exactly. I mentioned it during the period of the construction,
Yeah.
they cannot they cannot contract with another company in the same
Business?
in the
Time?
same business, the same headings, I think headings, rubro headings.
Like in the same area. Will
Yeah,
be sounds better. Como en la misma área. Perfect. So no architects.
They cannot contract with companies in the same area.
Okay, what more?
One more. I have two more. I write here. Both companies, it's necessary to participate in actively form, assist to meetings, involucrate too much in the process, no, not only one company stay in the meeting, no, both companies is necessary to stay together for that product.
Okay, and what about the termination? How it will finish the contract if what happens?
What happened? Maybe a penalty. Penalty to 20% of the duties. No, profits. 20% of the profits.
Profits.
¿Cómo se llama? 20% of the profits.
Perfect. Okay. What do you think that will be like the weakest? You know what is weakest?
Debilidades.
Como la parte más débil.
Yes, como
Sí,
que.
muy bien. ¿Cuál crees que es la debilidad de este contrato? Like, what is the weakness part of this contract?
mm, maybe, o sea, the witness part of the I forget the name. I forget the name too much. The witness part of the cláusula, se podría decir así.
No, you can say like the part of the contract or about one agreement. ¿Qué quieres decir? Y lo mandamos en contexto.
O sea, que la parte que maybe it's necessary more specific in the some, ¿cómo se dice cláusulas?
Como una parte del contrato.
Yes.
O sea, ¿qué quieres decir? Como alguna cláusula de exclusividad.
Claro, ser un poco más específico.
Se puede decir clause, pero también se puede decir like the article.
Yes. Maybe one clause is more specific.
Paragraph, depending what you want to say.
Maybe
¿Cómo quiere decir? Como la cláusula primera, la cláusula segunda.
Yes, maybe a clause que I mentioned the two companies is necessary to participate in activity. No, actively. Both of us.
Okay.
More specific, what exactly?
Yeah. Okay. If you have, yeah. If you are talking like in this case about, for example, you can check that the contract has like numbers, like 13, blah, 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 blah. When you're talking about that, will be so specific. So you can go like in the article, in the second article, in the first article, in the part number 10, or you can check the clause number 12. In all that ways can be correct. Okay?
I understand. One number, I think you refer to the clause I'd say. So maybe that
No. Te estoy dando ejemplos. O sea, como cláusula, artículo, parágrafo, parte, en la sección, you can also say section. One more. That's it.
So,
Okay.
Yes.
Perfecto. Bueno, entonces antes de que te vayas, porque ya me toca comenzar con la lesca, te voy a pedir que llenes la votación. Ya ahí va a iniciar. Muchas gracias por tu tiempo y nos vemos el martes.
Thank you,
Se acabó
Gali.
la semana.
See you. So good.
A ti, muchas gracias. See you. Chao, chao. Laleska, how are you?
Good. I'm good. Hi.
Hi, how are you? Laleska, which company did you choose?
I filled what you sent again, and I decided that I want to do something a little bit different, and I chose
Okay.
3 companies. I chose Netflix,
Okay.
HBO, and Hulu.
And what is the last one? I cannot listen.
Hulu. It's something that is not here. It's in the United States. It's really a thing there, actually.
Okay. I was like, no conozco. Okay.
So my idea behind this, I don't think it counts as a joint venture because I am thinking more about creating an entity above these 3 companies that I will name Moblo. I even thought about the name.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
So the basic idea of this is that these 3 companies will join together respectively with obviously they will give different things to this Moblo thing, but they will join together so that they can survive, because the streaming service is actually going into a decline due to every single main household of movies and series creating their own platforms. That thing pushes people
Okay.
to piracy content. So in order to survive,
So we are talking like more or less, sorry that I interrupt, we are talking about one equality joint venture, right? Because you want to create a new one with the skills
like a
of other
society,
ones. I
yeah,
am understanding good.
yeah, kind of in that
Okay.
sense, yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Continue.
So, following the structure, it says, yeah, the purpose. The purpose is creating an online platform from streaming services, combining these three. Then
Mm-hmm.
contributions. I think the first party, which I think I will be representing, that's Netflix, has a better approach to this matter, so it can invest a little bit more. So this is not a real amount, but I would say that Netflix can
No, no worries. That is the plan.
they can give like 20 million,
That is the plan. No
like
worries at all.
upfront. They can give 20 million, and
Okay.
HBO and Hulu can give 10 million.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Okay.
contributions apart from cash itself, Netflix can provide the platform that they need, because Netflix is far more experienced in giving the service. It has way more things that they can offer and have their
Mm-hmm.
customers more happy than HBO and Hulu, because they enter the game a little bit late. And the other
Okay.
parties, HBO and
Do
Hulu,
you know how it's called that? That situation that are you calling is goodwill.
okay, Goodwill.
Do you listen about that before?
No, no, actually.
Okay, goodwill is the branding that you create in a company. Like all that experience, the credibility, the people trust, the people buy, etc., is something called goodwill that is inside of intellectual property. So when they sell or they make a product just for put the branding or the brand that is Netflix, the people have like a good concept about it.
Hmm.
If, for example, they start to having troubles in connections or whatever, one of the damages is the goodwill because you are affecting the goodwill of the company.
Hmm.
Now it's like, en español se dice, se diría, o sea, en español se habla siempre en la partícula en inglés, goodwill, pero siempre es como toda esta afectación a la marca, que daña el buen nombre de la compañía. Y eso se clasifica o se puede pactar como en daños y perjuicios. Si yo, por ejemplo, tengo un local muy bueno, muy grande, en el centro de la ciudad, pero lo estoy arrendando y el dueño me hace quitarlo de ahí, resulta que yo me demoré en construir que la gente me identificara que yo vendo las empanadas de Gali en el centro de la ciudad y ya la gente lo asoció. Cuando a mí me sacan de ese lugar, un daño que yo puedo reclamar es el goodwill, porque a mí me costó mucho hacer que la gente asociara esa esquina con la esquina de empanadas de Gali. Eso es goodwill. Eso es lo que tú estás diciendo, como the more experience, credibility, and etc. is
Hmm.
called goodwill. The goodwill of Netflix is biggest than the other ones,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That's why, in that
Perfect.
sense, I think that the ownership of the entire project, Netflix will get a 40% of it, and HBO and Hulu will get 20 and 20% each.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's not. I don't know. It is addressed here later. Distribution of profits. I think Netflix. I think it will be fair to have like a 40-20-20 again, as Netflix has invested more money in the project and
Okay.
has a better goodwill, like has goodwill, and the other ones don't have.
Okay.
But in originals, because
Yes,
Netflix
perfect.
has their original content, Hulu has original content, HBO has original content. In those contents, to incentivize the creation of good content and better content, the income will be 80% for, like, let's imagine HBO creates a new show, they get 20% of it, and the society itself just gets 20%. So they get more income if they create more. That said, it's for incentivizing the creation of new content, because you still get,
That is so intelligent.
like, you need
Okay.
to find ways for them to try it and want to join us. So join.
Perfect.
The
Perfect. What
management.
about Mhm. Who will have like the last decision power? Who will be like the boss in that new company that are you creating? Someone neutral or someone that has like some experience in this sector, or maybe the owner of one of these of those companies?
I think the way I envisioned the idea, I chose rather a management
Mhm.
committee instead of a manager. So I think HBO and Hulu can
Okay.
have one representative each, and Netflix can have two. And most preferable, it will be that if it's not the head, like the CEO of the companies themselves, it can be someone somehow powerful because you will need to discuss several things in a large company. It's not like only your streaming services. Now you are talking about three big ones. Mm,
Okay. How
I
much
think
money you will pay to that manager or that commitment of management
I
per
think
month?
let's say maybe 10,000. Maybe, yeah. I think that's good. That's good enough for them.
Okay. Okay. Continue. What yes, continue. Then I will do other question.
Mm, I'm still like going through all this. Okay, it says
No worries.
determination. Uh,
Yeah?
I think it will
When?
be like if
If
you have to
someone
spend
do what?
like in the sense of termination, it will be if you go against other platforms. Like in one of these clauses I put here is that, for example, because here it's mentioned like no partnership, no exclusivity. In that sense, I thought of adding like a clause that says that Netflix, as is bigger, as a bigger platform, won't try to harm HBO or Hulu. If so, Netflix will have to like repair such things. Like they will have to somehow try to give a compensation to these companies, because it's like HBO and Hulu have the rights of certain shows, and if Netflix is like on the back being like negotiating with these shows, like, okay, I will pay you more, I will pay you more than HBO, I will pay you more than Hulu, come with me only, then that's really not good and will hurt HBO and Hulu, and they will probably that will probably one of the concerns that they have while joining us. They will be like, oh, maybe this can happen to me. So to cover that, if some parties try to do this kind of arrangement behind the back of someone else, they have to compensate that harm, and it's a clause
Perfect.
of termination. Maybe
What do you think?
sorry.
Okay, perfect. Just for finish, what do you think or which is the greatest legal agreement that you are doing representing your company in this contract?
Um, I think I'm looking out for their future income, but as well, I'm trying to protect the property rights they have within their own shows and within the shows they already acquire, paying for those property rights in their own platforms.
Perfect. So good. Tell me how, if you have like a dispute, how you will solve it.
I think there's something interesting here that is a buyout, but I don't think that's the way to go here, because if I say, okay, HBO, you want to live, but let me buy your show, they will say, oh, it's $3 million, $3 million. They won't sell it to me. So a buyout for me is not viable. It's not a way to go about it. So I think it's either
Mm-hmm.
arbitration or mediation
Mm-hmm.
with arbitration. It's the best way and the best, like, the least harm I can make to any of these parties.
Who will pay that rights? Like who will pay
For
the,
me, will be the one
I
that
don't know, the
wants to leave.
arbitrator?
Like for me, the cost will be of the one that wants to leave, because this whole situation is because you want to leave.
Okay. Oh, that is perfect. Okay. Thank you so much for your all your strategy. It's really interesting, and you take the decision to go in one step, um, like plus all the activity, because the idea was just with two companies. So congratulations for that. And I will ask you that you please fill the survey before
Oh
you
yeah, I
leave.
have it here. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
perfect. Thank you so much for your time,
Thank
and
you.
I will see you the next week.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, thank you. Ciao, ciao. Vanessa, hola. ¿Cómo estás? Which company did you choose for this exercise? And please turn on your microphone.
I'm so sorry. I always forget this. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's happening in my mind. Okay.
No worries, no worries. How are you?
I'm fine, teacher. Thank you so much. And you?
Okay, I am fine also. Thank you so much for asking. So, did you read all the contract?
Yes. More or less.
Perfect. Tell me. Okay. Tell me, please, which company did you choose and why?
Well, I was thinking in a kind of environmental protection enterprise, maybe, because I really like this topic also. So for me, it was attractive to try to make some kind of negotiation with this enterprise because, representing this enterprise because I think it's, by the way, a little bit hard to make any contract because, lots of people don't care about environmental protection. So in that way, lots of enterprises say that they are taking care of planet, but watching the reality, it is not that.
Okay.
Well, and after that.
So which company did you choose? Do you put it a name?
Well, no, I was not thinking about a name, but the treat I want to.
Okay. Okay, we will put A and B. The company A and the company B.
Okay.
So which one will be? Do you want to make like kind of fusion, like non-equality or equality?
Could be equality.
¿Cómo la escogiste? ¿De esta que hay fusión o una que estás creando una nueva?
Again, please. I didn't listen because my microphone is not really good.
Remember that. No worries. The equality is the one that is created, right? Like a new one. A and B, then together create C. And non-equality will be the ones that they just put the skills and it's just temporal. They create the product or the service, but they are still apart.
Well, the idea that I was thinking in could be both, I think, because my idea was the first enterprise A, for say something like this, an environmental protection enterprise, who is making a negotiation with another enterprise who is in a business with Jews or maybe kind of this, who work a lot with plastic. So my idea was make a kind of pact or treaty, something like this, to change some things in their kind of package for make this help more kindness with environmental, and also trying to share this thing that is recycling. I don't know how to say this.
Reciprocidad?
No, reciclaje.
Recycling.
Recycling, that. Well, I was thinking in that.
Okay.
So, make a kind of, it is not a new product, but it's necessary to change the pack for being more kindness with environmental.
Eco-friendly.
Eco-friendly, yes. Something like this. Yes. But it is not changing the product in all the sense. So it's just being something eco-friendly and, of course, trying to impulse other people to do the same. So that was my idea. So
okay, perfect. What about the management? Who will manage that? Like that negotiation or business. Who will be like the head? Who will the last one taking decisions?
Well, I think it could be the enterprise A because the environmental protection enterprise maybe is kind of assessorating. I don't know how to say this. This is managing this enterprise because it's necessary to change some politics with plastic because they are near to closing because I don't know, could be some rules, some government rules for making this kind of products are changing, and so they have to change also their packs. So in that way, I think could be the first enterprising is managing the other because it's necessary to change and making a revolution, to say something like this.
Okay, perfect. What about what do you think that is the weakness part on this negotiation or in this contract that you create?
Witness? What is the meaning of
You see, como el weak es débil, weakness
weakness.
es or the weakest,
Okay.
con la parte más débil
Okay.
del contrato.
Well, I understood weakness. What is this? Okay, weakness. I understood already. Well, I think could be lots of people don't want to change things because they are really classics and they want to stay because they think that old formula works and this is going to work well in every time, but it is not the same. Well, and try to change the imagine of these enterprises is going to be really hard because a lot of people know these fresh enterprise or just enterprise as an specific imagine. So I think the more complicated part could be this, to change this for being eco-friendly, more eco-friendly. And the second one could be to find a really good way to make another kind of package. It could be glass or something like this that could be more eco-friendly with the planet. So I think both of them could be the more complicated to change.
Okay. What more? What about the profits?
Well, I think I already don't think about it, but well, in any case, it's going to be grateful for the enterprise because, by the way, a lot of people are thinking green. So, trying to change this classic stereotype of a company who makes juice stereotype that make juice and it doesn't matter any other thing is really hard, and there are a lot of people that are denying to buy something that is really plastic and they are more concerned, by the way. So I think it's a really good idea, and even though it's necessary to make this change because the image of the enterprise is going to change. They are going to be more friendly, and also the enterprise that protect the environmental is going to win also because that's the objective, to make other people conscious about what are they consuming, what are they buying, and why are they doing that, because we just have one world and we have to take care a lot of our home. And I think that could be the most important thing about it.
Perfect. How you will finish this contract? Like, how is the termination? Tell me about the termination of the contract. When someone do what, you will finish it.
Okay, I think for managing the imaging of any enterprise, it is necessary kind of marketing orientation.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really important to make a really good strategy for trying to change the thing little by little, but also in the case of trying to don't lose a lot of clients. So this is the first step for me, trying to change the imaging step by step, trying to make things that are important, but not at all a completely a completely change. So this is going to be the first one. Could be changing some kind of logo in the pack, maybe, and after that could be trying to make kind of promos, offers. I don't know how something like this to make other people's buy our product. So it is going to be really near to marketing because it's really important, by the way. And well, when we are going to finish, it's going to be really important to, how could I explain this? Analyze the results in numbers, because it's really important also checking that we are not losing a lot of money doing this change, because if it's necessary, yes, I understand that, but it's also necessary that the enterprise still earning what they earn.
Profits balance.
Okay, profits balance.
Ahí es donde tú... Perfecto, sigue.
Well, and that is, I think,
Sigue.
necessary to change. And well, I think the contract is going to be finished maybe after a specific time that we are going to pact in the contract, or maybe as a result.
Yeah.
It could be that they are changing a really important change in the name of the mark, but still having the same
Of the brand.
of the brand. I'm so sorry.
Of the brand.
Exactly, and still having the same clients, I think, or more if it's possible. So the objective could be also increment the publicity, but really good publicity is not the same as just selling the brand and that's all, even though it's changing the mind in their clients, I think.
Okay, all this description about what do you need for create a knowledge and a context and a connection in the people in branding is called goodwill.
Okay.
Goodwill. You are building the goodwill of the company, ¿verdad?
Yes.
Este es un tema que utilizamos siempre en español y lo utilizamos con su expresión en inglés. El goodwill es un término de indemnización. Si yo, por ejemplo, le comentaba ahorita a tu compañera, y ya que me están escuchando las dos, yo quiero montar un puesto de empanadas. Yo voy a escoger el lugar, la plaza principal para montar el puesto de empanadas. Los primeros 4 o 5 meses yo estoy creando el branding, yo estoy creando que la gente asocie que en la plaza se come rico, empanadas, en mi lugar. Pónganle cuidado que yo estoy arrendando ese lugar y me quitan ese lugar. Me dicen, no, lo necesito porque, me di cuenta que esta vieja está haciendo mucha plata, lo necesito. Ese branding que yo creé, ese goodwill de la compañía, si a mí me quitan algo que es indispensable para desarrollar mi negocio por una cláusula injusta, por una mala negociación, por lo que sea, tiene que estar resarcido en dinero. Porque ese tiempo que yo me demoré en crear esa conexión mental en la gente para entender que mi producto o servicio tiene cierto estándar de calidad, se llama el buen nombre. Y ese buen nombre en inglés es goodwill. Everything that is connected with branding, that can be marketing, publicity, quality, quantity, the owner of the company, everything that is like intellectual property, like we know we have an idea about Netflix, we have an idea about Instagram. All of that is goodwill that is so connected with branding. Okay,
perfect.
And you need to put that, you need to put also that in the contracts.
Okay.
Like by the concepts of goodwill, whatever, blah, blah, if someone finish before with the contract, or like before the time established in this contract, we'll have to pay blah, 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 this for the damages, this for blah, and this for concept of
yes,
goodwill.
Because it's going to be really important to don't break down the goodwill, as you say, because they have already an story. So they have to change in positive, but not in negative. So it is really important to make a part in the contract just for this, because I think it's really important.
Okay, perfect. So thank you so much for your time. I will see you the next week.
Okay.
And let me know if just fill the survey, right?
Yes, I already did.
Super. Muchas gracias por tu tiempo. Entonces nos vemos el martes.
Thank you, teacher. Goodbye. See you.
Chao, gracias a ti. Hello, Silvana, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. Hi.
Thank you. Perfect. So we will start with our topic. So let me know which company did you choose, with what amount of money, what do you want, like for profits. Tell me the time that will be like this negotiation, or that will take the negotiation, and the time also, or the full contract. Tell me like the weakest part or the weakest part of the contract for the company that are you representing, like the legal weakest, right? ¿Cuál es esa debilidad, ese factor de débil legalmente que tú ves en ese contrato? Y bueno, cuéntame, te escucho.
Okay, here I have a joint venture agreement, a little ambitious, is between Gucci and CVS Pharmacy. Are you there?
Okay.
Yeah. So we are
Yes,
now.
I am here. I'm here.
I'm representing Gucci. So they wanna make a collection of face masks for this red carpet and fashion week season, because right now it's starting. That's why they want to make the artists, directors, and people in the media feel safe. It doesn't matter if they have just two people around, make them feel safe with the KN95 mask that CVS Pharmacy produced. That's why also they want to look very good. And I have an example. 2020 was like this, a simple mask, but they also want to do something bigger, something better.
Okay.
But also, I mean, they want to look good, but feel safe. That's why they're doing a joint venture with CVS Pharmacy. For example, Gucci gonna invest $2 million, and CVS Pharmacy gonna invest $1 million to produce this face mask. Then about their profits, Gucci is gonna have between 70%, because they have, as you said, the goodwill. They're very recognized because their products are high quality all the time. And CVS Pharmacy are gonna have 30%. Of course, they're gonna they're gonna guarantee that this mask is really good, that it's gonna protect them to COVID-19. What else? The management, I thought in a committee between the representatives of Gucci, that is Marco Bizzarri, and also the fashion designer, who is Alessandro Michele, and the representative of CVS Pharmacy, that is Larry Merlo. What else? You ask about the weakness, right? So I that maybe I'm gonna say where is the weakness and how I think that I can resolve that. I mean, make it have a solution about it.
And please let me know. Please let me know also the workforce. Who will put it?
The what? The what? I didn't hear.
The workforce, la fuerza de trabajo, la mano de obra. ¿Quién es? ¿Quién lo va a poner? ¿Gucci?
Actually, both, because the first step in this process, this commercial process, will be CVS Pharmacy. They're gonna produce all these face masks, and then they're gonna put this old mask on in the Gucci's factory, where they're gonna design the mask to make them feel make it look more elegant. What else? Okay, the weakness. I think that if somehow the mask or the factory of CVS Pharmacy have something wrong, like make this mask go to low quality, actually Gucci is gonna be affected because they had the goodwill. I mean, they as you said, they're going to be affected for that. But also, I thought that they could put this clause that says that Gucci can go to CVS pharmacy factories to do unexpectedly like checking for how is the quality, or what's the quality of this mask before producing or putting all the jewelry or things.
Perfect. And do you want to create like as a boutique? Do you want that be like just one design for each face mask, or just maybe one any, I don't know, 100, one design for 100? Do you want like give that exclusivity stuff or not really? What do you have in mind?
I will think that it will be a little exclusive. Like if you have, or they Gucci design some dress, they're gonna design also a mask that combines really well with the dress. So that's why I talk about these fashion weeks or red carpets are coming. And also they're giving this bonus about social responsibility. Why? Because people that is famous actually have this power in social media, so they could promote, for example, the elections in the United States. So they wearing a mask in fashion weeks or red carpets can promote also to wear a mask for young people. So
Perfect. Do you think that the vaccine is not a risk for this new
yes, that's why I only
company?
put yes. Actually, it's not equity joint venture. I'm not creating a new company. I only put this in this contract only 8 months between everybody. I mean, around the world have this machine, and also as another termination, I put that if Gucci find that CVS pharmacy has a low quality mask, they're gonna finish the contract.
Okay, perfect. Tell me, please, Silvana, which is the greatest legal benefit for your company in this contract or in this negotiation? Which clause?
Maybe it will be a little about the competence. I mean, the confidential and proprietary information, because I mean, you never thought that Gucci and CVS pharmacy could work together. So if the competency that Gucci is doing this, they're gonna try to do the same. That's why CVS pharmacy cannot do some contract with another brands like, I don't know, Louis Vuitton or Dior or something.
Okay. Oh, that's a really good answer. Tell me about the like in this investment, when the company can figure out that we have the money back, all the invest, in which month, like in the second, in the third?
Actually, I think that they will have it in February will be the first, so in the second. So because right now everything is coming like fashion weeks, as I said. I mean, Golden Globes, Oscars. That's why I think in the second.
Perfect. If you are like making all you are creating like all the damages that can born in this contract, which one did you choose? We already know like the goodwill, but also what other aspects do you take in count in this contract?
Like another, I mean, something that for Gucci or?
Yeah, for Gucci. What do you think that can be this kind of stuff that can be like a disaster, so irreparable harm that have to be in the, like needs to be? These are really complex question because I am telling you that you need to create or tell me what or which one are the damages that can be irreparable for Gucci that comes from the other company. Which one? I'm like goodwill is one, like the branding, yeah. But what more do you have in mind?
Maybe an scandal for CVS Pharmacy. I mean, the reputation will be terrible for them, and we have an agreement, so we're going to be affected too.
Perfect.
Also,
what
maybe
more?
the factory isn't working anymore because, I mean, when you have a factory, you have to all these people. I don't know, checking if the machines are working good or if everything is clean. So
quality control,
yes. So I mean, when you're talking about face mask, you have to be sure, I mean, completely sure that everything is working well and clean. So it could be a problem for Gucci.
So how much money you are asking for in that clause?
How much? I mean, maybe.
How rude do you redact that clause?
I could. I will put like I don't know if $1 million is enough to repair that. I will say more actually.
Okay.
But no, at least $1 million.
Okay, that is the money that you're asking for.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. If you sign a contract today or tonight, and the representative of the companies are totally agree, when you will start to produce the face masks?
In a week.
Okay. You don't want to work like with publishers before?
Like,
or do you think that in this week you will create the branding? What do you have in mind?
Actually, I'm repeating this, but it's the fashion week is coming. So Gucci has this I don't know, this section in Fashion Week in Milan. So they're gonna be the perfect way to show the world that they're doing this face mask. So okay, it's like part of the process. So.
Okay, perfect. So before you leave, I will please ask you that you fill the survey.
I did.
Did you do it?
Yeah, I did it.
Yes, perfect.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your time, and I will see you the next week.
Thank you.
And you was like so passionate and also responsible. Good creativity as always. Thank you so much. And you did perfect. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Karen, hola.
Hola, profe. ¿Cómo estás?
Bien, ¿y tú?
Bien, gracias.
Super. So please let me know which company did you choose, why. Let me know like all these clauses that you will mention, why it's important, and also show me the weakest part and the strongest part of the negotiation, seeing it like you are the lawyer of one of the parties, right? So what is the worst and the best part for you in this negotiation?
Okay. So I choose two companies from here, from Costa Rica. So I decided to choose cookies that is represented by Pozuelo. I don't know if you have heard about that copyright or mark. I don't know. And the second company that I choose is Gallito, that it's a company of candies and sweets. Yeah, and I think it would be a great combination to create copyright or so the both companies have recipes, confidential recipes. So I think it's very. And the second company, that it's a company very interesting that part because if I were um, create a joint venture, how I agreement, sorry, that was if I were a combination to create something. So the both companies have recipes, the secret of the recipes in both cases, but combine both to create a new product or goods of intellectual property that it will be owned by the both companies. Okay, I mean, how agreement, sorry, secrets to prepare. In one case, cookies, and the other case, candies. Fusion that to create a new product that it will be owned by the both companies. So
in which
I think that the
percentages
first part
or
that we,
how?
I think like new kind of cookie with chocolate made my gallito. I don't know, cook recipe. The cook. I think that the first part that we it would be owned by recipe that made a new. Okay, I mean a distribute by a new trademark, so they could be own the new product, but adding. I think that the first. I think chocolate made my gallito. I don't know intellectual property rights, but separate. So I don't know if I explain that, but I think that it would be nice. I found that I think I thought that, but like consumer, so but separate. So I don't. It would have a new product in that way. Here for that agreement, the first part is to keep the secret in the both cases about the recipes that they own by right now, and create a new trademark with that fusion that and it will be owned by the both enterprises. But I think that consider okay, we have considered the value in the market of the recipes individually considering, because maybe if we have a study to evaluate each one, it would be a result of maybe one is more expensive than the another. So the first part is to evaluate the two intellectual property in the both cases to reach a result that it would be help to determine how percentage it's in the ownership will be get each part. The second is to create the trademark and negotiate about how the distribution it will be managed by one, how which enterprise it will be managed the distribution of the new product, I think. And other part that I would consider is how they will solve the eventually disputes. Nowadays, I have an observation of that. Nowadays, people think that it's better or quicker to get an arbitration or mediation, but here in Costa Rica it's almost the same that in judicial case. So it's not not easier and not
Ah,
quick. So at the end, I think if they pretend to solve difference in using some of that mechanisms, I think um, I choose in the first one, the first mechanism I choose is mediation, but at the end I don't close the opportunity to get a judicial solution, because at the end it's the same. Here in Costa Rica it's like that. I think how I was investigated that in other countries is quicker to take arbitration, for example, but here it is not like that. So I think it's I will leave that like list that you could check before to get a judicial solution. For example, first one, if there are one dispute or problem in the management of the new product, for example, to try first to use mediation. If that not result, arbitration, and in the end is that not resolved, or the parts consider that is not a solution that will be fine in that way, leave that kind of mechanisms and use judicial mechanisms. So will I consider that it's important to be clear in that how a list or checklist that we could use. I think other about the harms or possible harms that would be made it in the course of the management of the new product. I think that we consider how imprevisible. I don't know if that is a
yeah.
word in
You can
English,
no, yeah,
but
yeah, yeah, yeah. You can also
imprevisible.
say it like
Sí,
ay, ¿cómo es que se dice en español? Se dice
caso fortuito y fuerza mayor,
ya,
o
gracias.
imprevisible.
Yeah, yeah. You can say
So,
like all the imprevisible and previsible damages.
okay,
Like that can
okay, I
also
will
become
consider.
from nature
Mhm.
or for the risk of the business or just because belongs to these kind of businesses.
Okay, okay, I'm going to consider in that agreement the imprevisible injuries or harms that would be made it by natural situations or pandemic situations. I think I remember a case in
¿Tienes
between
aquí el
Panama
chat?
and Costa Rica, because they are okay.
Esta es una manera un poco más común de mencionarlo. Unpredictable.
Unpredictable. Okay. Unpredictable. Okay. Thank you. I like that word.
It's like easier.
Yeah. That. Yeah. I remember right now a case between Costa Rica and Panama. They were building bridge, and when happened the pandemic, they should stop everything to construct. So that was an unprecedented situation that happened last year. So I think that with the knowledge that we have right now, we could pact or agree about that kind of unpredictable situations. So
Okay.
I think I will consider that. I think in my case of new enterprise or how do you say empresa? Yeah, enterprise. Yeah,
Yeah.
the
For
new
this
enterprise.
business.
Uh, for this business, I think the purpose or object of the enterprise will be to expand that kind of operation around America, for example, because they are very
Valuable.
valuable valuable enterprises in Costa Rica, but maybe it's not. They don't do campaign marketing campaign around the world, and a lot of people don't know about that. So it will be a nice purpose of that new enterprise. And I don't know how I can some other consideration that we have or keep in mind is the capital contributions, because they have intellectual property, but right now they have a lot of buildings and other um, machines that they are operating right now with their own products, so they could add this kind of goods and services to the capital contribution. So I think that would be nice to be considering.
Okay. And please tell me, like talking about the obligations that are you creating, which one you can see that in the future maybe will be a problem for the company that are you representing?
I think the eventual problem it will be maybe how they do the distribution of the product. So maybe one obligation or how a clause that we could pact to be or manage better the enterprises will be to in case of for example Gallito couldn't distribute the new product, Pozuelo could be distribute that with his own cars and or
Structure, the
main
structure,
structure.
the
Exactly,
transport structure.
exactly, exactly. I think that would be actually because Pozuelo is. I think Pozuelo is more. It's bigger than Gallito, and and they have more means of transportation for that how do I say, for make that work, but maybe in that way they could collaborate and take advantage of that kind of difference to rise the infrastructure of Gallito. So it will be subsidiary one from in the distribution in of the product, subsidiary between each other.
Okay, perfect. And tell me about the time. You will create this association for how long?
I consider that the best way to no right now the society or the joint venture contract would be created by I don't know 50 years with with a person represented by the each company to defend his interests in the new company created.
Okay, in the new company creation or created. Okay. Karen, perfect. Thank you so much. Before you leave, I need that please you fill the survey. And
I
you do it
think
already?
the survey yet. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Thank
And
you.
I hope one day buy or know the product about from Gallito because I never listened.
Yeah, maybe
So,
in Panama or some surrounding countries,
countries?
but yes, I don't know. I don't believe that in Colombia or other countries, but in Panama or Central America, yeah.
Okay, I never listen about it. Thank you so
Uh,
much for your time, and I will see you the next week.
Thank you, teacher. Bye.
Okay, thanks to you. Bye. Francela, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, ¿y usted?
Súper, hoy tenemos audio. Wow.
Sí.
Okay, Francela, please let me know which company did you choose? Why? What is the negotiation that are you creating? What do you think that is the weakest part, and which one is like the strongest one? And yeah, basically, I will continue like doing questions as always, but let me know.
Okay, the joint venture agreement would be with Gali Lunita, between Gali Lunita and New Start Immigration. Okay,
Okay.
basically what we're going to do is we're going to hire the document procurement from Gali Lunita. Gali Lunita would be in charge of providing us with the documents coming from Bolivia and Colombia. She would be in charge of obtaining birth certificates, marriage certificates, and she would also provide us with the documents coming with the apostille to
Yeah.
make those documents valid here in Costa Rica.
Okay.
So, well, basically, that would be the part of the services. Mm. Our company is in charge of immigration services in Costa Rica. So basically, we're hiring you to provide us. Well, it's not like hiring you. We're doing this partnership with you, so you can assist us in complying with the document procurement. If we required
Okay.
a police report, you would be in charge of obtaining the apostille. So let's see. The services would be coordinated by email. I would be sending you an email requesting the documents, and well, depending on the place the documents are coming, that would be the no, sorry. Depending on the date of issue, those documents would be valid for it use in Costa Rica. So once that one of our customers hire us, I would contact you and you would be in charge of the document procurement. I would be sending you sending them like a Google form in where they would complete the information required, and then in up to 24 hours, I would be sending you the email including all the personal information of the customer, and we're going to include like an affidavit in where you would be like a kind of the legal representative in those countries, so you can obtain the documents that are required to be requested by an attorney. Then about let's see, legal fees, and then yes, legal fees and expenses. We're going to use regular mail to receive those documents. Uh, we're going to pay you $100 per document. But if it is a family or a couple, you're going to provide us with a discount of $25 per document. Okay.
Okay.
Then the service, the partnership, well, the joint venture would take time during 2 years, but both parties can decide when to finish with the process or with the service. It's important for us that you can let us know in advantage when you're not willing to continue working with us, and we would request you an advice of who can we hire in those countries who can provide us with the service that we are stating today. Then
Perfect. And let me know, please, Francela, which one is the difference between a labor contract and the one that are you proposing now with this joint venture?
well, the main difference is that you're not going to be like working just for us. We would be working together,
Okay.
let's see here. I have it here. I wrote it down here. Um, it is not like a kind of partnership contract or an exclusivity contract. So you're allowed to share your services with other companies.
Okay. Perfect. Continue.
Then about confidentiality, um, you and us are not going to be allowed to share information because we're working with personal identifying information. So since it's information that it's that won't be like for public access because we're talking about legal documents, you and I or you and our company would should comply with those kind of obligations of confidentiality.
Okay. Perfect. Tell me what about what's happening in what happens if something go wrong with that documents? Who will be the responsible?
Mhm. Well, that's a that's an important thing. Um, who would be responsible? Uh, both parties would be responsible of it. Because, for example, if you're
Okay.
telling me I would be sending you a document using regular mail, and then something happens in the middle, both parties should prove that the service was provided with excellence. So if something goes wrong, then we can join. How can I use this? Like conciliation is that the name of it in English?
Arbitration or
Arbitration
mediation?
or mediation.
Hmm. Okay, perfect. What more? What about the management? The management, who will be like the head of?
The management would be our company, New Start
Mhm.
Immigration, because we are the ones who are providing the customers with the service.
Perfect. Perfect. That is so important. Tell me about. We will have some like how will make that question? Let me see. You will have like some disciplinary subject where you can see if someone like do a mistake, if they can like improve or move on from that, or from the first mistake you will be fired and done. What do you think that will be the
Okay,
most wise way to do it?
since this is something that we are implementing, I think we can take a chance of like proving the service that you can provide us with. And yes, we're going to give it a first shot to check if it works or not. If it works, we're going to move forward. If it won't, then we would finish with the service that we're providing together.
Okay. Something more that you want to explain?
Yes. Well, we're going to use like a kind of platform. Um, we call it empowerment, in where once a customer hire us, our company is going to assign a case number, and it would include different. It's not like
Data?
kind of a steps. It would give us like a timeline in where the system would tell us which is the one, which person is the one in charge of complying with the service or to continue with the process. So that's like the kind of transparency, is it like the word? You and I, your company and our company would be able to check out to track where is the process, in which stage is the process. So your company and our company, or you and I, would have access, full access to the process. So that would
Perfect.
help us to check who is responsible in which stage. That's why
Perfect.
when the documents are coming, if you leave a note, we would get like a pop-up notice and we would know and that we should keep track of the mail-in time.
Okay, thank you so much for your effort. Was like really interesting the thing that you proposed, and you defended so good because I just attack it like it's like labor law. And it's like no. So that is great because you are so active answering. So thank you so much for your time. Before you leave, I need that please you fill the survey. I'm not sure if you do it already. No.
Gali, and this is something we need.
Eh,
We're trying to find a service provider, so yes. Mm-hmm.
sure.
So
We
it's
can
like
discuss
a
it.
good opportunity. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we
Yes.
can do it. Sure. Yeah. I don't know if I told you, like I have maybe one day when we follow us, we have one of these migration service with Australia. And because I have my own law firm, I told you. So it's working in Colombia, and I am like hiring more lawyers there. And the things that I can do it from here, like for example, the demands or some documents. If I can do it, I redact it. Same with my other associate that lives in Belgium. And we are like both. We are three, both or like with Paula, we are outside from Colombia, and one is in management, the office in Bogota. And from some cases, we just pay other lawyers, and that's it. It's a way that we found for continue doing our own business and continue moving. So for me, it's basically the same if I'm here or in Chile or Argentina, etc. But we can also make it like this, a joint venture or an strategic alliance with one migration office that is specialized in all the topics with just Australia. So we make like percentage. If they send us a client, we give them 25%, and the same way. So that can be so interesting. Maybe when we finish that, we have time, we can make a negotiation. We have like our own website and platforms. We are investing in design for Instagram, and yeah, maybe can be a really good alliance for sure.
Opportunity. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I am so open, and of course that my associates are also. We are always looking this kind of opportunities. And for other example that we have, like it's like some associates that is like belongs to our company, but one of them comes from other countries. We have Guatemala, Mexico, Spain, and Peru, and it works in the same way. If we, for some reason, we have a client, we send them. And with the people that lives in other countries, the thing that we do is work in academic contexts, like to create articles of researchers and research for some universities, and from there first take funds or make name, as a lawyer, right? So it's so useful because we really like now. No, I can't remember the last one that I do was like 1 year or something, but we have like different people in each area, and that can be also a good idea because, for example, if you want to publish if one of, or if one of our universities or books or whatever in Colombia, we have the contacts, the connection, we know how to do it, and for you will be like an international publication, and same for us, and that in our CV or for getting a client or just for get a reputation is so useful, right? So yeah, we can do it. We can figure out what we can maybe build with our profession, and for sure. So I hope that you have a nice day. Thank you so much for choosing me
Thank you.
in your plan and in your homework. And I will see you the next week. Please let me see
Thank
that
you.
you fill the survey.
I
Yes.
just fill it out.
Good.
Mhm.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias.
Bye.
Chao, chao. Cuídate.
Hasta luego. Gracias.
Adiós. A ti. Y listo. Me siguen. Rafael, ¿cómo está?
Buenas noches. Bien.
Hello,
¿Usted?
hello. Bien, bien,
Hola.
muchas gracias. No te veo, por favor, puedes prender. Perfecto. Okay, we will start with our exercise. So please let me know which company did you choose and why, and which one are you representing?
Yeah, I'm going to subscribe joint venture agreement between Tesla and Sony Records Music.
Okay, and would be, or tell me please, what will be the benefit of this alliance?
Yeah, the reason is because Tesla are going to send some popular artists to the moon to do a concert. You know, Elon Musk
Okay,
all the time thinks in this type of publicity.
okay. And which company you will represent?
Tesla.
Okay, perfect. Tell me about the percentage of the agreement and the profits that you concern in this document.
Well, I think the first party, Tesla shall make a capital of um, 10 millions of dollars, and Sony Music shall be a capital of 6 millions of dollars. And for
Why?
in the other hand, why? Because
Why that amount of money?
because we need all this money to work this project to build all the starships, to contract all the artists and work with them.
Perfect.
In the other,
Tell me about the profits that are you
in the other
expecting.
hand, the profits are going to distribute in the percent, in the amount of 50-50.
Okay. Do you think that that is a weakest? Do you think that that is a weak negotiation in your contract?
Yeah, I think.
¿Entiendes la pregunta? Como si tú crees que
me
esa va a ser una parte débil. Como cuál es la, like the weakest, esto te lo voy a escribir aquí en el chat. The weakest.
Weakness. Yeah. It's,
The weakest.
I think
Como
it's
la más
gonna be
débil.
difficult. You know, Tesla is making 10 millions of the capital, and Sony Music 6 millions, and but they are putting in this contract that 50-50, and it could be a problem, but it's because with Tesla we have more danger, no danger, no, peligros.
Risk.
Yeah,
Risks.
we have more
Riesgos.
risk to work in that. I don't know if we have an accident in some starship or in the training of these celebrities, because we need training them to send them to space.
Yeah, okay. What happened if they die? Who will pay that? Who will warranty the
Yeah.
lives of these artists?
This all for Tesla. We are. I think Sony have a. I don't remember. Hold harmless contract.
Yeah.
Yeah, because obviously they don't wanna count with these risks. That's the reason is Tesla needs to be Tesla needs to be really I don't know cuidadoso.
Careful.
Yeah,
Careful.
very careful with this because all the problems count with Tesla.
Okay. So all the warranties, like all the insurance, will be paid by Sony, right?
Mm, by Tesla.
So, but are you representing Tesla? So do
Yeah,
you think that if Tesla is putting more money, is putting more risk, is paying all the insurance of these famous people, you don't think that they need to win more in this
well,
negotiation because they
I
are
think
putting like more? So why?
more. I think that's the reason because um playing with that is because that's that's some crazy idea and anybody um who wants to talk with Tesla in a association like that. That's the reason Tesla
Okay,
is a little weak weak weak.
okay, that's perfect. That is so creative about. It's like, do you have a really creative stuff?
I think in this
Um.
years ago. So
Okay. Which one is the greatest legal benefit that you have for the company that are you representing?
um, please could you explain this,
The
teacher?
question? Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Like, which is the greatest agreement or the greatest legal agreement in this document, like the clause, la cláusula, que crees que es más benéfica legalmente para tu compañía? Which one and why?
Give me a second. I think the it could be the the decision of Sony to guarantee the greatest artists who can who can who they can work and guarantee a lot of publicity. Tesla is
Perfect.
working with all the starships, the training of the people, and Sony Music is finding some artists, finding sponsors. That is something that needs to pay a lot of risks.
That is great. And from where part of the world you want to send this ship?
Houston. Yeah,
Okay, that is great.
I don't remember the place actually.
No. It's just the place of the movies.
Yeah.
Houston. Perfect. Tell me about when we'll finish the contract.
It has a duration. It has
Term, a
a
term.
of 2 years
Mhm.
since the contract is firmed, is
Signed,
closed,
signed.
signed, yeah, or closed, yeah.
See, it's good. Yeah, and signed by, or they accepted for both parties.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 years. And do you have your company have like no, your company has all the structure for create this huge and visionary chip,
Yeah,
or do you need
Tesla is,
to like it's ready for the
yeah,
other,
Tesla
or how
knows
it's
to
working?
work um, very faster than other companies in this case.
Perfect. Tell me, please. I have here. Tell me, please, all the all the confidentiality that will supply this contract. What will happen if some party broke that confidential agreement? How much money you will ask as um indemnization?
I think the best in this situation could be an indemnification in the amount of the percent of of profits, um, a 10%, for example, of the profit. And they have to exclusivity agreement.
Yeah, perfect.
For in order to Sony don't must to work with other similar company to Tesla,
Perfect.
or
Vamos a mirar
working
acá.
in the search of sponsors with companies who has problem with Tesla and other projects shareholder.
Generalmente, cuando nosotros hablamos de juntas de accionistas, hablamos like the shareholder team, or the shareholder committee, or the shareholder meeting. Es la junta de accionistas. So do you think that for who will be composed this shareholder? Like half and a half from both company, or do you want that other people belongs to this committee?
I think the best could be 50-50 in this case.
Okay.
Or
For how many?
maybe
Or
it
for
could
how
be
much
better.
people?
Yeah. I don't have
How
any
many will
idea.
be there?
Yeah, I don't have any idea of how much people work in this type of commits.
Imagine how many do you want to put on it?
20 people.
Okay, but I suggest that you put one number more or one number less, because the decision will be taken for the half plus one. And if you put 20 people,
I
will be
understand.
easier than in some cases you put 10-10. So that is important that you figure out it in your contract, because you need to take one little percentage that be majority for taking one decision.
Yeah, 21.
Perfect. Okay, thank you so much
It
for
sounds
your
like
contract. I hope. Perfect. Yeah. Thank you so much for do the exercise, and I hope you learn some new information. And know that you start to use the vocabulary that I gave you yesterday. And thank you so much. I will see you the next week. But before you leave, please, I need that you fill the survey that is now is on.
Yeah.
You do it already?
Yes, I'm doing it. Yes.
Segundo que no la puedo ver. Sí, perfecto. Muchísimas gracias por tu tiempo y te veo la próxima semana.
Nos vemos, teacher. Que la pase bien.
Adiós. Igualmente. Hola, Ana. I need that you put your microphone on.
Sorry.
No worries. Hello, how are you?
Fine, and you?
Yes, I'm fine. Thank you for asking. Okay, Anna, please let me know which company did you choose? Why? Okay. Tell me which company are you representing? What are the negotiations that you can do or that you do it before? And of course, tell me about the benefits, the risks, the termination, the committee that will be the manager or the management committee. And yeah, I am ready for listen.
Okay, so I got a pretty excited about it, so I even write stuff.
Okay.
And my parts are Amazon and Coca-Cola.
Okay.
And I represent Amazon. The contract purpose is a campaign about all this pandemic stuff and all about being at house. So the alliance has the purpose of I don't know how to say it, promote a new Coke flavor that is called Coca-Cola Crazy. And the Amazon part is when they sell music, electronic stuff like AirPods, AirPlugs, earphones, and speakers and something like that. They receive their Coke, their new flavor of Coke with that. Is the match where you have a good drink and music even when you're in pandemic. That's the campaign. So the publicity will be
just one?
Sorry?
Just one, or you will send a package? Just one?
No.
Like one product, or you will send a package?
A package, yes.
With more? Yes, and how many?
Maybe 2 or 4, it depends.
Okay.
On the packages that we are sending to people and the produce, how many they produce to the campaign. That's something that we need to talk later. The incomes will be 70% for Amazon, and the 30% will be for Coca-Cola.
Okay.
Because the highest weight of the contract, it depends on Amazon because they make the delivery and they have to make the delivery of the electronic. So that will be the most fair account. And
do you want to apply this contract, this business, your new project, product, or this joint venture? Do you want to apply it in which country?
It will be Latin America.
Okay, perfect. And who will be the company in charge of the transportation in Latin America?
Amazon will be.
Okay, perfect. Tell me.
Maybe
Continue.
this is like a bonus thing for Amazon because they can improve the movement of their how you say envíos?
Yeah, sendings.
The sendings in parts when in Latin America when they didn't get before. So maybe that can open the range of market in Latin America. So maybe they can.
Perfect. And Coca-Cola will have some kind of restriction of exclusivity with this new product just for this campaign, or
Yes.
Coca-Cola later can use the product?
The campaign will be starting like in April. It will be for 1 month or two. It depends of the movement of the publicity and all that stuff. But the first thing that we thought, is 1 month previous the release of the product in the market. So it will be 1 month and maybe two if it works.
Okay. What is the weakest part of this negotiation for your company? What is the weakest? The weakest, la más débil.
Okay.
Weakest, te escribo ahí. Weakest.
For Amazon, it will be that we need to make sure that the product of Coca-Cola will be in a very good shape and it will be, I don't know, well packaged because we're talking about electronic stuff. So we need to make an extra effort to make the package, I don't know, more safety for the products. So that's even when we apply the 70% for Amazon, that is, we contemplate that in that range too. Maybe that's the big risk. And the efficiency of the sendings will be another stuff, but we also contemplate that in the contract. Just because the same thing about the product, because it's a beverage. So we need to make sure that we can cover that and don't have any troubles and with that kind of stuff. But besides of that, we are covered for that.
Perfect. Two questions more. Which one will belong to the shareholder? This new word is so important and means junta directiva. ¿Quién va a tomar las decisiones? Will be like the management of this new alliance. How will be like the percentage? Like you want be like 50% of this shareholder belongs to Amazon and the others to Coca-Cola, or maybe you want half and a half. How will be like this distribution, and how many people do you want in the shareholder?
I write it right here. Let me think. Okay, it will be 50-50. I'm sorry, I lost it.
Perfect.
And
no worries.
the shareholder will be the management part of Amazon. I put it that way, but I don't know if I'm right.
Yes, perfect. And let me know in which language you will create these contracts, in Spanish or English?
There will be 3.
Okay.
Here, even when we talk Latin America, we want to include Brazil in that because it's a huge market and we want to explore that market. So it will be
perfect.
Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese, Spanish, and English.
Perfect. And who will pay these translators and all these topics of marketing in all these languages?
Okay, all the publicity, all the marketing will be 50-50.
Perfect. Nice. And where do you want to produce the marketing? In the US or in some countries on Latin America, and why?
I put that we will make the marketing in Latin America.
Okay, everything, like the producer, the video, the filmmakers,
yes,
the
everything in
photography
Latin
stuff.
America. We want to make it cultural and we want to make it like owned it to the
Okay, and in which countries?
And I write it here. Brazil, obviously. I was Colombia, Costa Rica, and Mexico.
Okay. You want to create all that content in these companies?
Yes.
Perfect. What more I can ask? Let's see. What about the damages? What happens if by mistake some of these electronic products it's completely broken or we lose it in the way because something can happen once natural stuff or maybe I don't know criminal. Who will take that responsibility? Amazon?
If it's something about their delivery or is something about the electronic product itself, it will be Amazon. But if we have something with the beverage and the beverage damaging the product, it will be Coca-Cola. So we have the plan is to have a team at Amazon that can help us with the management of that kind of trouble. So they can establish the responsibility and we just move forward.
Okay, you will have one like overseer or how you will prove who is guilty in each case. You will have an expert. Can you listen? If you tell me more or less now, do you listen me?
Yes.
Okay.
Now yes.
You're telling me that depending of the product, depending the situation, depending if maybe happens something in the distribution or maybe the liquid falls in the electronic stuff, how you will make that be fair for the parts? Like who will conclude who was the fault? Who? ¿Quién va a concluir de quién fue la culpa? ¿Cómo vas a comprobar esa culpa? ¿Qué procedimiento tiene? Which proceeding do you have in mind?
Well, Amazon has a department that is in charge of analyze the responsibilities or not of the company about a product. So if they get to conclude that it was Amazon fault, we get through that. And if something about the beverage, we have to deal with that with Coca-Cola, right? So maybe we can have a special team that manage that stuff, or because it's a month, so we can provide a team for that. But If it's all Amazon, we take the responsibility, and Amazon has how you say, an insurance about all this stuff, so we can take the responsibility, and we can provide the electronic again with the beverage and all that stuff. But it's something that we
Okay, thank you so much for your creativity. I never think about it. And before you go, I please that you fill the survey.
I think I already did.
Okay, let me see. Oh, yes, you do it. So I will see you then next week. Enjoy your weekend. And thank you so much for this exercise.
Bye, Gali. See ya.
Bye. See you. Hola. I cannot listen. Please turn on your microphone. I love your baby Yoda.
Yeah, gracias. Justo de él vamos a hablar hoy día.
Okay, nice. Okay, Laura, please tell me which companies did you choose? Why? Which one are you representing? What are your interests, your benefits, like all the profits? And yeah, we will continue doing questions after that.
Yeah, it was a little bit hard for me because I don't have like a wild imagination. I didn't know what to do until I looked at him and I said, okay, this is a toy that is made by Mattel and Disney.
Yeah.
So like a contract, a joint venture, turns out. So I tried to find out everything I could about it. I didn't have much idea of the rates and the figures and all of that. It was a little bit hard for me because I didn't. This wasn't a particular subject that I saw in college or in my job, so I was a little bit lost. But let's see what we can do.
Tell me. I'm listening.
I pretended that Disney never purchased Lucasfilm, and I used Mattel and Lucasfilm for the parties of the agreement. So the purpose of the joint venture is creating and designing toys to be marketed by Mattel based on the star from The Mandalorian, Grogu. And the joint venture shall do business under the name of Lucas Toys. I used this information, I think they made the agreement in the 70s, so I took the names out of that. I read a little about it. Then, okay, so in terms of money, I had no idea how much, honestly, and I tried to figure it out, but I have no idea, like literally how much do they need to manufacture these, how many. So I put under Mattel, they were gonna put $2 million for starters. And for Lucasfilm, it would be the copyright of the character. I understand that intellectual property is considered as a contribution for the agreement. So I don't know if I'm mistaken here, but I put that on.
That is
then
great.
About the ownership. Okay, cool. About the ownership, I put 50-50. I think that is the usual 50-50 for the agreement. So Mattel would be 50% and Lucasfilm would be 50% too. About the profits, this was a little bit tough for me because I had like a confusion with the royalties. Where are the royalties gonna take place in the joint venture agreement? So I read a little bit about it, and I saw that some of the agreements are taken, like, I'm gonna read a little, okay? I'm gonna cheat just a little bit because I just can't remember how.
No worries.
Okay, so the companies would be thinking about royalties as part of the overall economics, and this would be like the royalty would be part of the intellectual property, and it would be royalty free per se within an agreed field of use. Like they can use the image and the this character for this sole purpose, and that would be it. It is so beautiful though. I can stop looking at him, sorry. Then so I put for Mattel 70% and for Lucasfilm 30% of the profits, but I'm not very sure of this. We are representing Lucasfilm, by the way.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's a good deal or a bad deal. I understand that Mattel is in charge of making the toy and manufacturing and doing basically all the work, when Lucasfilm is gonna lend, for saying it like this, the character for them to make a product.
Okay.
I was
for how long? How long?
Yeah, okay, let's jump into that. For starters, I put 5 years from the effective date. That would be December to 2019, and maybe renew provided both parties agree so, unless it's terminated early by an agreement. In case of the show is not as successful as it used to be and it just doesn't gonna generate incomes anymore. So for starters, 5 years, I think it's a good time for this agreement. So yeah, another
as a lawyer of Lucasfilm. Hello. As a lawyer of Lucasfilm, let me know which part of the contract have like troubles. Like which part is the weakest of this agreement, in your opinion?
Maybe the confidential information, how do I put it? I just pointed it right here. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Yeah, the confidential information that we are providing for the agreement to go through, because it is very a little bit nuanced. I don't know if it's the right word, because they can maybe take the general information and use it for a different purpose, and we wouldn't even notice because we wouldn't be able to prove it for it being too general. Sketches, specifications, I don't know. I don't know if customers list, I think that's a little bit too wide. But yeah, I think that is the weak part, and the fact the management detail, I'm a little bit confused. I didn't understand it quite well. I was going to ask you. And
yeah, here we will see something that is so important that I didn't explain in lesson because I didn't have enough time. I checked your chat. We have something that is called shareholder. That is like the committee, that is the committee that we call in Spanish, so easy, junta directiva. So the shareholder are in charge for making decisions to make more invest or talk about the profits of all people that are investing money there. So for this kind of contracts is the management is so connected with the shareholder. The management means who will take the decision on if we will create a committee, how will be the percentage for taking decision. In the most of the time is 1/2+1. But for some specific decisions, maybe they need like, I don't know, 1/4 plus half for taking, I don't know, for sale all the shares. Para vender todas las acciones, 1/4 de la mitad de los votantes, o sea, 1/4 más la mitad. Todo esto está adentro del management.
Yeah, because that was a little bit complicated for me. I couldn't put my finger on it, so I just left it and I said I'm going to ask before I maybe put something there that it's like ridiculous.
Tell me about what happens if you have a dispute. How you will manage it?
That is a part that I thought about it much. In case of a deadlock shall be deemed to have occurred. That is a term that I learned today, by the way. I didn't know it existed. I chose mediation and arbitration, then arbitration. So a little bit predictable in my case, but I did this because a buyout, which is another of the options in this agreement, I don't know if it would make a lot of sense in this case, because we're talking about intellectual property. So I thought that the best way to solve any problem would be with a mediation, and after that, if it doesn't work out, an arbitration. Yeah. Perfect. I don't know what you think about that.
Well, where will be produced these kind of toys? Which country?
Yeah, they are manufactured in China. I checked him. I couldn't find out a lot of the of the details of how or the branches, the places, the workers, how many. I couldn't find out that detail. I wanted to, but he said made in China, so.
And who will be in charge of transport?
I think I put all the responsibility of the income in terms of the toy and the sales and everything to Mattel. Yeah, what Lucasfilm would do is just put the intellectual property at disposal, and that would be like it.
Perfect. And what do you think that is the biggest risk in this contract?
Well, I haven't thought about it honestly. I would have to it would have to come now. That Mattel would like manufacture more than what we agreed on, or that they would have like sales that just like a fraud, like they would say, okay, we sold 100 dolls, and actually it was like 200, so that they wouldn't give the profits. But I think that's quite common in every agreement. So this would have to be very controlled and fiscalizado by the management, I suppose.
Okay, perfect. Something more that you want to explain?
I think not.
About your exercise?
I'm not quite sure about the distribution of profits. I don't know if it's okay, like Lucasfilm having the 30% of the profits, taking account that they just would put the proper the intellectual property there. That would be like the only contribution. I don't know if it's convenient, if it's not. I would really like to understand these details about these contracts. I'm gonna study them like separately because it's very interesting. But that was my I was preoccupied by that because I didn't know if I'm doing like a good job as a lawyer, a fictional lawyer of Lucasfilm.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
No worries. But one thing that I guess that you should have in consideration is like if Mattel didn't have the toy, like the branding for creating the toy, they just cannot sell the material, right? They need to identify.
Yeah.
So in that order, if they didn't have like if they didn't have, you need to, I don't know how to explain this. You need to create, you know what is goodwill?
Yeah. Buena fe, no?
Okay. All the, no. Goodwill is a phenomena in English that is so connected with branding, with brand.
Okay.
It's like intellectual property that you take time in design and create. It's so connected with publicity because goodwill is something that belongs in our heads. For example, Netflix. You can imagine, right? Netflix.
Yeah.
And you have a perception on it. You can say it's a good quality. You can make the subject perception. That subject perception about it is called goodwill. Es como el buen nombre de la compañía.
Okay.
Es eso con lo que los consumidores pueden identificar un producto por su calidad, por su duración, etc. Está muy relacionado con tema de branding y manejo de marca. Y todo este goodwill está muy conectado a toda la publicidad que se ha expandido durante años con todas las películas, ¿verdad? Así que es algo que se tiene que tener en cuenta. Si nosotros no tenemos un branding, si nosotros no tenemos un personaje el cual vender, no podemos vender como los elementos por separados, ¿me entiendes? O puedo utilizar otros personajes, como yo que sé, Toy Story, que no tienen la misma salida porque esto está vendido hasta hacia una generación que en este momento ya está siendo productiva económicamente, ¿verdad? En el sentido de que no tal vez para complacer a sus hijos, sino para complacerse a sí mismo. Así que el mercado es grandísimo. And if we consider that like these market aspects, because this is what the huge companies do, they have like experts on marketing, the experts that will like publishers, the people that will make design, the people that will be all the marketing stuff, the sales, the sendings.
Yeah.
And the most of the times, if you are representing your company, you cannot start losing. The minimum that you can is always give one step forward and say like, okay, we want 70%. And then from something that is really a topic, you will start your negotiation and going back. Because if you, going down, sorry. If you tell like 30% and they are not agree with that, they will push you as a negotiation with 15.
Yeah.
And that is not a good deal.
No.
So always for everything, maybe more. This is the just suggestion that works also for all the clients that we get. If you have doubts about the solvency of your client, always put a high price, because then
Yeah,
if
like
they
nice.
cannot pay it, they will put it down, but maybe they can pay it. So it's like just an advice. And please, thank you so much. I was like so creative, and I love Yoda, baby Yoda. So
Yeah. Thank you so
please,
much.
before you leave, I need that. Yeah, I need that you fill the survey. Now it's
Okay.
like open. And yeah, we'll see you the next week. Have a really nice weekend. Enjoy it. And bye bye. But I cannot see. You feel it already? No.
I did. I just did. You have it?
Oh, yeah, perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank
Yes,
you
yes, I got
so
it.
much.
I have
Have a
the
good
number.
Okay.
Okay. Bye bye. Perfect. Daisy. Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Bien.
Super. Daisy, cuéntame. Please let me know which companies did you choose, why, and tell me all the clothes that you create, please.
Okay. I wrote it.
Okay, perfect.
I chose two companies, one company of my own, Roxy's Transportation, and a company that I invent.
I create.
I create. Diana's Agency of Tourism, and both are located in San Salvador. And the parties have indicated an interest in forming and establishing a joint venture for the purpose of joined as a team. Both companies joined as a team for tourist events for the period of all the year 2021, and where Roxy Transportation will be in charge of bringing the transportation, comfortable transportation, microbuses, the security, the make sure the people travel with security and comfortable. And another company, the Diana's Agency of Tourism, will be in charge of bringing the works personnel, for example, the tourist guide, the food, the security in the travel but where people is walking, for example, in a mountain in a trip. So this company will in charge to bring the security for these people, and shall do business under the name, both company under the name Good Brief. And the principal office of business will be located in San Salvador, but in Mexicanos. And the contribution of Roxy's Transportation, the first party, Roxy Transportation, is cash in the amount of $2,100 for example, if the car broke, this money will be for fix the microbuses.
Yeah.
And 7 microbuses in the value of $175, the 7 microbuses. And the contribution of Diana Agency of Tourism will be in cash in the amount of $200 too, for the food, to pay the guys, the people who work in the company and will be in this project. And obviously the works personnel with a salary value of $2,500 for these people in the year. And the party shall own show interest in the joint venture following the percent of, the profits for every party for the Roxy Transportation will be of 60%, because is the in la cancha, because if the company that will put the transportation and is the most important element for this project, because without transportation the event can be, so the 60%. And the Diana's Agency of Tourism will be the profit of 40%. And the management commitment consists of Roxy Velasquez and Diana Rosales, and they will be the responsible for the following duties and obligations for both parties. For example, Roxy Transportation will Roxy's transportation has to be monitoring and controlling the job for the guys and all conductors, all drivers or all the microbus that they do a good job for the events and provide all needed for the event. For example, who I told you before, if the microbus became broke, so Roxana Velasquez has to fix it and bring the all needed for that. And Diana Rosales, one of the responsible for she is that he has to bring the medication. For example, if in the trip someone gets sick, she has to be prepared with medicine that she can bring for the people, and the food because the company.
And what happens if? Sorry. What happens if they have a horrible accident? What happens if they have a horrible accident? Who will make
they have
responsible?
Yeah, they have alliance with a hospital, national hospital, and she just have to call and call an ambulance, and the ambulance will go to the place and carry the people for the hospital or a clinic, but the most for the closest hospital.
Okay, and what happens if they die?
If they die, before before the trip, the companies evaluate, I think, evalúa.
So overseas, como supervisa.
Overseas before the trip, the company oversees the future damages that they can get in the trip. And if the trip is too dangerous, is catalogated like a dangerous trip, the people who will trip have to firm a contract when they say that they approve to go to the trip, even the trip is dangerous. And if the people die, the company won't have any responsibility for that because they firm the paper.
Okay, the sign the contract.
Sign.
Other solution that you can tell me in one of these cases is contract and insurance. Una aseguradora. That the insurance will be in charge. If someone died, they will pay for their life to their family. And it's like one contract, really important, that always needs to get all the transport world, right? They need it. So don't worry about it. Just you do it like a contract with a third company that becomes the insurance, comes to become the insurance. Okay, tell me, now you are representing your company, right? The Daisy company. Like the tourism, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Like the agency of tourism. Tell me, in your opinion, which part is the weakest in this contract?
The what? Sorry?
Weakest. The weakest. Weakest. Lo voy a escribir aquí para que lo conozcas. Weakest.
But I don't know.
La más débil. Weak
yes,
es débil y the
yes.
weakest es lo más débil. The weakest. ¿Qué es lo más débil de tu contrato?
¿En qué sentido? ¿Económico? ¿De personas?
Como lo quieras interpretar, however that you want to interpret.
I think the economic area, economic area, I think it is the tourist company because they are having less people that go to the trip that they do because they don't have a good transportation, a good device to transport the people, comfortable security for the transportation. So the company had to do an alliance with the Roxy Transportation to have um, an increase in the profits. So in this
Perfecto.
area is the tourist company.
Perfect. And please let me know what is the strongest part that you see in this negotiation.
Well, in the same economic area is the Roxy's transportation because has a lot of microbuses, a lot of drivers, has a lot of comfortable microbuses and buses, and a good people who is a drivers with good reference. So I think it is stronger because has good reference in many companies that because Roxy Transportation is just transportation and how work with many other companies that need transportation. So this company has good reference.
Perfect. Tell me, please, the last part is if if the things doesn't go wrong, doesn't go good as you planned in this agreement, you will finish it, or you will give time that maybe the things change, because now you know that we didn't have a lot of tourism.
Yes, I think it is give time because I at least in my country the uh, the quarantine
The
ends
lockdown.
August of last year. So since August of last year, every place is open, but people don't have this value to go. For many people go to the beach because it's the closest place, but they don't have this value to go to the mountain, to a beach that is so far. So I think this company have to have a good publicity and saying that they have a good security, following the rules. For example, the rule with using masks, using alcohol, these rules. And I think give time to the people get this value to go to this company and say, yeah, I want to go to the trip.
Perfect. It's like all the security stuff, like the biological security for getting prepared for enjoying a place or a vacations. Okay, Daisy, thank you so much for your exercise. Please, before you leave, I need that you fill the survey, and I will see you the next week.
Okay,
Perfect.
I already sent it.
Ok, muchas gracias y que estén muy bien.
Bye, thanks.
Chao, que estén bien, adiós. Hello. Sorry that I was like following the other list where I put like the scores. And it's like, okay, no, 5 minutes, no, because I am recording and all this is online. So I was
Yeah, I
like,
know.
so sorry for that. I will now like save your number. Let me know which company did you choose, why, and do you have makeup?
Yeah. Sorry, it's just that I started working 2 days ago. And there is 1 hour less than you have there. So I have just finished around 6. So yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's okay.
Okay.
That's okay.
Perfect.
Yep.
Okay, Maria. So let me know which company did you choose, why, and let me know the percentage, the benefits, the profits, the troubles that maybe you can get, the way of solve troubles, all the negotiation. Please let me know. What do you create? And
Okay.
I'm listening.
Okay. I choose Apple and Lenovo to be the companies for this joint venture. In I for the purpose of creating a new laptop model, the name of this project or this new brand also it's going to be X-Line, and the principal office will be located in Washington, D.C. In the case of Apple is going to be the one that creates all the software, and Lenovo is going to create all the hardware. Apple is going to contribute with $8,000 million and Lenovo with $7,000 million. So in this case, Apple will have shares of 60%, and Lenovo will have 40%. What more? Just give me some minutes. For a whole harmless clause, I will put in case of any design problem, Lenovo is not going to. Oh no, I forget what I put. Sorry, here I can read my. Oh no. Sorry, I lost it. I'm sorry.
No worries. Just share. What do you have in mind?
As well, that I have in mind that this new laptop will be with a really good web camera, because as we know, Apple has been working a lot in this and have been improving a lot in this. So that was my desire, that Apple will do the software, yes, and also the webcam design. And well, they're going to send these laptops all over the world, but they are going to start selling them in the United States, so they could know if the public wants this new product. And the joint venture will be for 5 years. However, if the project doesn't work in 2 years, we could end this joint venture. So we need approximately, I'm just going to give any amount, approximately I don't know, 1,000 billion dollars in 2 years, or we could end with this joint venture. Yep, that. Oh, in case of disputes, in case of any conflict, we are going to go in an arbitration process, so we could resolve our problems there. And yep, just that.
Do you know what means shareholder? No.
Shareholder?
Shareholder?
Yes, I do.
What
it's stakeholder and shareholder, right? shareholder are the ones who are like socios, and stakeholder the ones that are not socios. For example, a relationship between a customer and a one person that works in the company.
Perfect. En la manera más fácil como de traducirla sería como una junta directiva, una junta de accionistas, ¿verdad? So, yes, perfect. So please let me know how will be that percentage. How will be that percentage inside of the shareholder? How do you manage it? How do you think that will be?
Okay. For example, in Apple, as we know, Apple have a lot of experience in this. Also Lenovo, but Apple is like one of the most biggest companies all over the world. So in this case for Apple, I will plan at 60% of shares and Lenovo with 50% of shares.
That is not
Shares
100.
are actually, sorry?
Again?
Shares,
it's over 100.
It's over 100? Shares?
Yeah, just like, okay. Yes, shares can be like millions, but all of this is over 1%. That percentage is 100. And you tell me 110, 60
no.
and 50.
Oh, sorry, 40. Honestly, I'm very bad at math.
No worries. I was like, what?
Sorry.
Okay.
It happens to me every time, sorry.
But also, like in that committee, that can be like management committee, or they are the head of this negotiation. How will be the percentage for taking important decisions? For example, we start to produce the product and then we have troubles with the factory. We need to take a decision. How will be that percentage for take a decision in this joint venture contract?
That's really interesting because when we do this, when we do this kind of contracts here, the percentage, it will depend in your shares. So, for example, in this case, we just have two companies. Apple have like 60%. So with 60%, the one who is going to decide is Apple.
Yeah. That happens in commercial law. You have to always keep it in mind. When you will report for decision, or you will report to a camera, you need to explain how inside of the company the decision was taken, right? Well, which proceeding or which process, and that is for show that you can be agreed with or not if you are an associate, right? En español, para hacerlo un poco más fácil, porque es un tema bien fastidioso, todo este tema de la toma de decisiones es súper importante para la opinibilidad de terceros. Se registra en la Cámara de Comercio todas las decisiones que se toman. Pueden haber 5 millones de acciones, pero siempre es importante que en estos contratos nosotros establezcamos cómo van a estar divididas las tomas de decisiones. Por ejemplo, la decisión se va a tomar, la mayoría de decisiones o las decisiones ordinarias por la mitad más uno, pero las decisiones de urgencia, de inversión, etcétera, va a ser tomado por un porcentaje, yo qué sé, por el 70% de la junta directiva tiene que estar de acuerdo. Ya no es la mitad más uno, me está pidiendo otro requisito. So that is the kind of question. I know that is a complex question that I'm doing, but it's like you need to create how you will protect your company against the decision that can affect them. Do you understand? Do you know what I mean? So of course that the shares is perfect, but let me know how will be the decisions taken inside of this joint venture agreement.
I have something in mind, but I think it's more like corporative law. I'm not very sure about it, but it's like.
What do you have in mind?
Where there is a model that it's called British model in corporative law, and they say that in spite of your action, in spite of your shares, you could the stakeholders and also the shareholders and the stakeholders according to Junta Directiva plus gerencia. How do you say gerencia? I don't know how do you say gerencia.
You can say the manager.
The manager.
The committee or committee manager.
Committee manager. Yeah. So shareholders plus the managers are going to decide. It doesn't depend on your shares. It depends on the best interest for the company. So I think we could add this model to this agreement. So we could think about it this more.
That is true, because think about the thing that I was telling you in lesson yesterday. Facebook have, of course, one manager committee that they take decision what is the best for the company in marketing, in development, in startups, and everything, right? In software, blah. But they also have a lot of shares around the world. If I invest, I'm not interested in the decision that they are taking. I cannot take my voice on it. They don't will listen me never. But if they take wrong decisions, of course that will affect me because I have shares on it.
That's it.
So that is important because one depends of the other, and some companies, of course, everyone's know that each company is completely individually for work, but the most of the time, the majority that are investing the money have more power in one committee, right? If in this kind, the huge amount of money is working on Apple, so they would have like more voice and votes in the committee, because the hardest part is made that this match. And of course that if they, for example, I will give you an example. If we use the goodwill from Apple, of course that we will have more more shares. If we have more shares, that means that we can use more money for continue improving our own businesses, and for pay all the labor law, and for pay the transportation, the implements, the technology, etc. And so that is something quite hard, because sometimes the people, like the huge investors, they want to be listened in all these committees, but maybe they don't have the specific knowledge, maybe about financial stuff, but not about the real business. So for that kind of joint ventures, it's so important put some neutral scenario where you can like balance all the interest of the investors and the interest of the company. Because if this works together, will means more money in shares, because you will sell more products, or etc. So no worries, this is quite hard.
I don't like this
So
kind
the
of
way that you
work.
manage it is good. I don't like it also. It's interesting to understand it, but I guess that it's not my world.
No.
Yeah, but it's okay. You do it so
We
good.
learn.
Thank you so much for sharing. Your plan was like so technologic. And before you leave, I need that please just you fill the survey as always.
Okay.
And I will see you the next week.
Okay.
You can see
I did it.
You fill it out? Yes.
Thank you, Gali.
Thank you. And thanks to you. And I will see you the next week. Rest, enjoy your weekend. Bye-bye. Ciao, ciao. See
Ciao,
you.
ciao.
Ciao, ciao.